Yeah.
Pretty happy with the way, seemingly, he seems to be approaching his game night in, night out with the idea of facilitating first, score second.
Yeah, you know, Dom, we knew when we recruited Dom, he's what I call a pass-first point guard. But he also has got the ability to score, which is what we want. We want our point guards to be threats too. We don't want them just to be initiators of the offense and then not see it again. So I think Dom's finding out the balance between being a distributor and getting guys touches, but also being a scoring threat. And, you know, he's had some double-digit scoring games, which we want out of him. But you know, at Colorado State, I look at his 7 assists and 1 turnover, and just when you see that out of your point guard, you're like, okay, that's pretty good. And then, you know, Josh Fortune, you know, on the wing, he's got 6 assists and 1 turnover. Those are pretty good.
Happy with the way Dom responded after that first. I know he was really upset about that game against Iowa State and the turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's
really
done a better job. It's something we talk about with our whole team, not just with Dom. But it starts certainly with your point guard. You want him to be a great decision maker, and he is. I've said this. I don't know how many times I've said it, but Dom has a great feel for the game of basketball. He really does. He instinctually he knows who's open and who's not, and he can. But now at this level, it's about making and completing the play. And the thing that Dom has found at the college level that's different than the AAU level and the high school level, which he's competed at before he got here, is the defenses are better, the coaching is better, the players are better, they're quicker, they're longer, they're taller, they're more athletic. And so some of those plays that he could make at the high school or AAU level, the passes aren't being completed or being deflected, or the defense is there, and so he's got to make those decisions a little bit quicker. He's got to be a little bit more crisp, but he's made that adjustment. I think he's got a chance to be a really, really good point guard.
In terms of running the offense and how the team responds with him out there, first 5-6 minutes of the game the other day, you guys go up 12-5, 14-5, something like that.
Right.
He gets a couple fouls, he goes out, he kind of comes back for second half. You go on a 15-1 run. Not saying that he made that whole difference.
Right.
Are you starting to see him respond?
Yeah, I think so. And I think, the one thing about Dom that we've been challenging him with is being vocal. But I'll say this against Colorado State. For the first time in his career here, we're coming out of a timeout, and he came up to me and, said, hey, should we run this play? So he's thinking, now he's starting to think that way. And I said, absolutely, that'd be a great call. So, he needs to take the initiative of, especially in the first half when our offense is away from our bench, take the initiative of making a play call. It doesn't always have to come from the bench. It's kind of like that quarterback. You want them to be able to come to the line of scrimmage and make an audible. But, that's what your point guard has to do. Is he's got to be thinking on his own about what's going to work, what's not going to work, who's gotten touches, who hasn't gotten touches. And I think as Dom develops, into the complete point guard that I think he'll be, that's a big step in the right direction. So I see progress, which is critical.
Looked like you had Jeremy come and talk to the team today.
Well, anytime you have former players around, I just ask Jeremy. He and I have had some conversations, privately since he's been done playing. And one of the things I talk about with all our former players is, when their basketball life is over with here in Colorado and they don't play professionally overseas, they're in the real world. And Jeremy's in the real world right now. He's in the insurance business, and he's going to be very successful in whatever he decides to do, because Jeremy's got a great work ethic. He's got great people skills. He's very trustworthy. He's got high character, and so he's got all the core values that we believe in here in Colorado basketball. But I thought it's good for them to hear from former players those kind of messages rather than just from their coach about how special their time is here, how much they need to enjoy it. This is a time of year, I think our fans sometimes forget, our guys are getting ready to go into finals. They've got a lot of things on their plate right now mentally, but we're still asking them to come to practice and bust their tail every day and prepare for BYU Saturday night at 6 o'clock. And guess what? Some of our guys have to get up on Sunday and take a final. It's just, now BYU's going to have finals. I don't know when their final schedule is, so every school goes through it, so we're not immune to it. But it's just one of those things where, I want our players to understand that this, even though finals are stressful and it's, everything's kind of coming down here at the end, that in the big picture of things, this is a great time of their lives, probably the best time of their lives if they look back on it.
Heard you talking about the BYU big man out here. You've seen the guy from Iowa State. I know Utah has a good big man, but is he as tough an inside presence as you're going to see?
Well, I mean, BYU's got good inside players. There's no question. But their best player is Kyle Collinsworth with the point guard, and he is leading. You know, how many point guards are leading their team in offensive rebounding? I don't think there's too many in the country, but BYU's is. And Collinsworth is a 6'6" guard. That is a do-it-all guy. I think he leads the country in triple doubles for a career. I don't know that, but I think he had 6 or 7 last year. He's had 1 this year. So he's a good player. Their bigs are good, very solid big guys, much better than the CSU big guys we played against. But they've got 2 really good shooters in a wing, and Collinsworth at the point, and post guys. They're a very balanced team. I think this will be the best team we've played since Iowa State, without a doubt. Personnel-wise, toughness-wise, shooting-wise, the whole ball wise.
And now that we're into December, I wanted to ask where teams are at with XJ.
Actually, it's funny you asked that because we're in the next week or 2, again, based on finals and doctor schedules, we'll have a sit-down meeting probably with the doctors and the trainers and XJ and kind of okay, where are we at? You know, the good thing is he's out shooting and he's working out. He's still doing his treadmill and rehab workout. He's not certainly ready to play yet, but he's getting closer. And he looks fine, but the explosiveness and the strength is still, that's something that we want to make sure is there. And as of today, it's not. But again, hopefully in the next 2 weeks, we'll have some sort of a better gauge of the thought process.
Yeah, I mean, originally it was, maybe getting back by Pac-12.
Right.
Is that even feasible at this point?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll know that after we have this meeting with the doctors. So, again, he's beating the odds if he is, in terms of the rehab for it and the recovery for that particular injury that he had. But I never say never. I never count it out. And so hopefully in the next 2 weeks, probably I would think by the time we leave to go to Las Vegas, we'll have a better feel for that. And then, because after the Vegas games, it's Pac-12 time. So that's a decision XJ is going to have to make. And we'll make it together. His family, I'm sure, will be a part of that decision-making process too. So anyway, that's where we're at right now. Nothing definitive, but we're getting closer.
Before the season, you called Wes Gordon the X Factor.
X Factor.
Is he moving past that now to where he is?
Yeah, I mean, he is, and the X Factor means we always talk about going from good to great, and I think there's those people in your organization. Wes is one of them in ours where they got a chance to tip that scale, and his aggressiveness against Colorado State was great. We want him to do that, double-double. He and Josh, I think it's the first time Josh and he have double-doubles together, if I'm not mistaken, in their career. So and today in practice, they brought their team from deficit to scrimmage. Those 2 guys were the catalyst. So now with Wesley, he's the X Factor, but now if he wants to be one of those guys that's not an X Factor, that's it's consistency. That's the next jump that he's ready to make, hopefully.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.